Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, Barakatham. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, of GMS, who teach and rule well. Okay, also peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this gospel amongst the four winds with truth and sincerity. To you, I say shalom. All right, this is your brother Paratham with a current event from last week that I never got a chance to, do a lesson on it. The spirit wasn't on me. Okay. I basically just took notes. I'm just going to run through it real quick, line it up with some scriptures, and close out. All right, Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. All right, so basically, they're calling it the Orwellian inoculation passport agenda. And they're saying that it relies on a lie of the social contract. So for those who don't know what the social contract is, it's a theory, basically, that, of members of a society, all right, people that basically live together in accordance with an agreement that establishes moral and political rules of behavior, okay? And this is the Greeks, back in ancient, the Greeks were on this type time, all right, not to get too much into it, but basically, it's this whole Catalina cult, these people who believe that a personal choice affects the rights of others. Okay, communism, Marxism, all that weird shit. But let's just jump into it. All right, because it's based off. They call it the Orwellian Max passport because they're basing it off of George Orwell, who's a writer, publicist. All right, he's famous for, what's the book? It's 1984, I believe. All right, the 1984 book. That's what he's best known for. Okay, and basically, this dude is low level. He most likely he look like he's an Edomite. I got him brought up on Google here. He's most likely an Edomite, but he wrote this book, basically prophesied, man. This was in 1948, so the book was titled 1984, and it was inversion of the year that it was written, that it was published. All right, and it basically was meant to give an immediacy to urgency to the menace of totalitarian rule. All right, so he was warning us about what was to come. Okay, and what Esau, what his own people was up to. All right, I haven't personally read the book or seen the movie, but I'm gonna check it out. All right, Lord willing. Okay, because I heard it was good. I actually heard the book. And usually the books are better than the movies. All right, but they're basing it off of that. Okay, but they want this shit's happening. It's coming true. All right. They want the NWO, New World Order. Okay, they want a totalitarian. Always have trouble pronouncing that. Okay, they want that rule. All right, socialism, Marxism, it's all the same. Okay, so let's breeze through this. All right, so basically, it says being unvaxxed is not a personal freedom. The unvaxxed are a risk to the lives of everyone else. By making a personal life choice, you are endangering the rights of others. Okay, but this same energy isn't applied to health issues, okay, like abortion. For instance, a personal medical decision that leads to direct death of another being, okay, with their own rights. Abortions kill over 800,000 unborn per year in the U.S. All right, so you're telling me that my body, my choice only applies to abortion and not wanting to become a part of an experiment, this experimental gene therapy is bullshit, man. All right, they could all go, they even go even further deeper. It says they could argue the fact that abortion, to justify it, should be mandated because too many children increases the carbon emissions and puts society at risk. Like, with no proof, obviously, but like they just use that as an example, which makes sense. All right, they're justifying their cause. Okay, the Lord got these. This is a major stumbling block, man. All right, just doctrines and different philosophies of these sheep, and it doesn't stop there. But continuing, it says the uninoculated individuals make up 50% of the population. The U.S. population, according to stats, inoculation stats, which is one of the few different one of the many different bureaus who are taking notes. So these numbers, the numbers they pushing out, spiking them, deflating them, they never add up. Okay, so this is just one of them. We say the unvaccinated make up 50% of the U.S. population. Okay, the infection vitality rate of the Catalina is 0.26%, according to dozens of studies and government's own numbers. The uninoculated aren't even close to being a threat to 99.7% of the population. 40% of all Catalina deaths are from nursing homes with pre-existing conditions, meaning we don't know if they died from the Catalina or health problems. All right, so that's unknown. It's impossible to keep up with all these numbers to be accurate, because there's so much happening in a day, that it's wild. The Lord got the heat turned up. All right, but continuing, it says, if the jab and mask work, how are the uninoculated a threat to the inoculated? If the jab and mask don't work, then why do we use them at all? All right, continuing, it says mainstream propaganda says that the uninoculated are more likely to have new mutations that could harm the inoculated, but there's more evidence suggests that the inoculated will trigger mutations and variants. All right, the numbers are crunched. We know that there are more deaths from the people that's taking the jab, 3 and 4 different jabs and boosters. The numbers are showing that, and we don't know how true it is, but the numbers are showing that there's more so-called fully immune dying from this pestilence, man. All right, you can't, it's just something's just not adding up. All right, it says, where were we? It says the inoculated aren't effective. The uninoculated are more safe from the Catalina, regardless of the variant or mutation. True infection numbers within us are impossible to know, because 59% of people that catch the pestilence spread it. They're asymptomatic, according to CDC. They don't know that they have it, so they're less than likely to get tested. Millions of Americans have dealt with it and have a natural immunity to it. Elitists like Anthony Fauci refuse to acknowledge the natural immunity as a factor. They say only the inoculated can get passports. Countries in high vax rates, like Israel, contradict Fauci's narrative on natural immunity. Israel's inoculation rate is 63%, according to government statistics. Scientific evidence show that the inoculated people are 13 to 27 times more likely to getting the pestilence, and 8 times more likely to be hospitalized in comparison to people who have natural immunity. All right, so you see something's not adding up here. Okay, it says the mRNA inoculation make people more susceptible to the Catalina rather than less susceptible. Data released from Boston, Massachusetts, this is just more statistics, in the month of July, so there was 5,100 infections, all of who were inoculated, who were so-called fully immune. Over 80 died, which is a much more higher death rate than the uninoculated. All right, so as you can see, this isn't about health, but it's more so about the denial of access, man. All right, the governments and corporate partners, they want you to get inoculated in order to participate in so-called normal activities, keep your job. Okay, every year you're saying that every year there will be new variants, new boosters, and we know they're coming out daily with this shit now. You got the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday variant. All right, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can't make this shit up. Okay, it says the only reason to take the jab would be to keep a handful of freedoms and avoid poverty and starvation. All right, so there's this description says those that seek to save their life shall lose it. All right, let's just get that real quick while we here. Luke 17:33. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. All right. So that's exactly what the majority is doing. These sheep, okay, they're looking at it like, damn, okay, renouncing the faith that they have, if they even ever had it to begin with, but they're taking this jab so that they can keep this little bit of freedom that we got. They're holding on to what? You know, their faith is in this check that they're getting from their job every week. They're trying to avoid poverty and starvation, okay? When scriptures say that knowledge and wisdom is going to be the stability of thy times, pursuing Isaiah 33:6. All right, but these people are through, man. But continuing, it says, the Catalina court would say private businesses. Salaki, it says the Catalina court will say private business rights outweigh the individual rights, so companies should be able to call the shots. It's the conglomerates that are funded by government bailouts, colluding with and directing with governments to enforce passport agenda, not the private businesses. In other states or countries, small businesses only enforce the passports because otherwise they would be punished by the government. All right, and that makes sense because to the small businesses, unlike these larger corporations, you know, they're taking hits. It's not cheap to follow that whole mandate agenda, man. All right, so you got the Catalina cult, the collectivists, the conglomerates, they're all in the cahoots. All right, and they only respect business independence when it benefits them. All right, because these mandates, enforcing passports, it's all extra cost. All right, so these small businesses can't afford that. So a lot of them, if they're not in cahoots or they don't follow these guidelines, man, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna lose their businesses, man. A lot of them are going to shut down. All right, so let's get some scriptures. All right, let me hit Isaiah 10:1 and 2. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And that's what we see, man. These unrighteous decrees, all right, this grievousness, okay, saying we got to get this, we got to wear a mask, you know, in order to eat, because that's what it's coming down to. All right, you know, scriptures say that we're going to be living like pilgrims amongst the earth, man, for those that's not going to take that jab. All right, and eventually, you know, the MOTB, that charagma. All right, that mark. Okay, it says, and what will ye do on the day of visitation and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where will ye leave your glory? Without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. All right, but not for long, man. All right, we over here bowing down under the prisoners because Esau was never meant, this vagabond, this wanderer, he was never meant to rule. Okay, he doesn't even know how to rule, man. Look at the kingdom. It's just folding. All right, this kingdom is in a state of deterioration, man. Due to what? Neglect and proper use. They don't know how to rule. All right, they just fucking this shit up, man. Okay, let's keep it moving. We jump to Micah 2:10 real quick. Shalaki, Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Because, man, you know, devising, the word devise going into plans, okay? To invent, all right, this wicked ass agenda, okay? And they're working evil upon their beds. Why? Because even when they sleep, man, they doing some shit, man. They can't help it. All right. And when the morning is light, they practice it. Why? Because it says, because it is in the power of their hand. That's right. This is their blessing, the sword. All right. The fatness of the earth, all the resources. Okay. But he's doing this. Why? Because he's coming down with great wrath, because he knows he had but a short time. Okay. Pursuing Revelation 12:12. All right. Here it is, verse 2. That said, they covet fields and take them by violence. okay, and houses and take them away. What does that sound like? All right, we've been over in Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, 20 years for what? To covet their fields for that opium and that oil. All right, and what did they do? They didn't just go over there, listen, man, let's work some. Nah, they took it by violence, man. They oppressed those people over there. And the continuing, it says, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. So they went over there and oppressed those people, man. All right, for the resources that they had in their land. Okay, it's fucking devils, man. They gonna get what they gonna reap what they sowing. They sowing wickedness, so they're gonna reap wickedness, man. All right, so this applies to these other countries. America been just desecrating, and it also applies to Israel. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans over here in America, they oppressed us in our house. This is our land. Okay, even a man in his heritage. Okay, we can't properly rehearse the righteous acts and keep all 613 laws. I mean, clearly we're in this flesh and we're gonna go off, but this land is defiled, man. But he gonna get what he got coming for him, man. Thus saith these scriptures. Let me jump the numbers real quick. Numbers 35 and 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. Our blood. They shed our blood on our own land. Alright, it says, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein. So the land can't be cleansed by our blood that they shed. Okay? But of the blood by him that shed it. Alright, so Esau's blood is going to be shed in these coming times, man. And that's the only way that he can make this right. Alright? We're going to shed blood, and we're going to throw chains on them, all right, and they're going to serve us for 1,000 years, and then just be Esau, as scriptures say, and Obadiah. Esau's house shall be for stubble, man. All right. Verse 34, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, dwell among the children of Israel. All right, and this is happening now. Okay, the Lord is with Israel, man. Always has been. He never forsook us. Okay, we went off, so we getting judged for it. All right, let's say if these scriptures, man, Lord willing, we be up those first fruits. Okay, so let's keep it pushing. I'm gonna jump back in Isaiah, Shalaki. I'm gonna jump to Psalms, and I'm gonna close out. Okay, Psalms 10 and 1. Why standest thou afar off, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Who's the poor? The Israelites, man. You Israel. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay? We're being persecuted here in America. Okay? Also, the Israelite foreigners. Okay? Sprinkled and mingled up amongst the other nations, man. These curses is going to follow us everywhere we go. Can't think of the scripture that says that, but you brothers get it. Okay, continuing, he says, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Devices, evil thoughts, plans. Okay, their tongue is going to fall on their own self. Let's get that real quick. I believe it's in 64. Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. And that's happening now. Okay? They just buying time, coming out with all these different variants, man. Using that fear-mongering tactic. Okay? So they could push these inoculations. Okay, these boosters. They just buying themselves time, man. They trying to get their shit together. Okay? We got the AI, 5G, Internet of Things. Okay? All this shit that they're still trying to perfect it, so that when this time, they really gonna turn up, man. All right. Also, we have to keep in mind that he has appointed him bounds that he cannot pass, pursuant to Job. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, he's only going to be able to do so much. He's not going to succeed. He knows he's going to lose. Okay, he's under the Lord's control, man. All right, the deceived and deceiver are hid. So the deceived are the only ones out of the loop. They don't even know they in a stumbling block, man. That shit's scary, bro. All right, hey, you Israelites, man. If you heard this word, because I was just watching the Wu-Tang. If you didn't check out that Wu-Tang American Saga, check it out. And this is not the first time that they did it, but the Israelites is everybody, every so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. You've heard this word, man. We are everywhere, man. Every state, in every city, in every country, and outside of this, all over this truth has reached the four corners of the earth, man. All right. It was a show. It was a scene in this show where the brothers was out there preaching, man. Out there rivaling with them 5%ers. The black man is God type niggas, man. Fucking weirdos, man. It was a small snippet, man, but it's this show. It was this best your pa. This word is out here. Man, if you heard this word, man, repent, okay? Or it's gonna be a mercy kill. You're gonna die with these heathens, man. Thus saith the scriptures. Back in Psalms 10 and 2. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. Hold on. Going to that word covetous. To violently make gain of. Alright, Strongs. To be given to covetousness, greedy, perform, be wounded. Alright, so this is Esau, man. The wicked. Okay? It says, Salakia. It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire. Prideful as shit, man. And blesseth the covetous. Blesseth the wicked, whom the Lord hateth. He abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. Okay, Psalms 52 and 7. Lo, this is the man that made not Yahweh his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. Okay, it says, verse 5, his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight, and as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Man, this one prideful ass devil, man. All right, verse 6, it says, he say in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Psalms 49 and 11. Just to back it up. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands by their own names. It's further proof to show you who the wicked is. America Vespucci. Okay? Africa Cipricanus, man. They conquer these lands and these people, and they named that land after themselves. Okay, hey man, truth is a layer. It's a lot. This has been there's so much layers and layers of lies you got to peel back to actually see this. Okay, because when you do, the Lord open your eyes up, remove that wool. Okay, bless you with that eye salve. You'll be able to see these scriptures coming to life, these prophecies actually coming to life and happening as we're living in beautiful times, man. Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. This has been going on for generations, man. Thousands of years. Okay? He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Alright, this net, man. These lies, this trap. Take the jab. Alright? Get back to your normal life. Take this jab. This like that article said, man, this is deeper than health. It's more about denial of access, man. Okay, it's about control. Alright? Verse 10, it says he crouches and humble himself. He's humble, a countenance is show you everything you need to know about a man or woman in that matter. It says he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. Okay? His words were smoother than butter, man, but war was in his heart. Roughly paraphrasing, leave Psalms 55 and 21. All right, it says he hideth his face, he will never see it. Alright? What we got here? 2 Peter 3 and 2. Salakia. It was further down. Second Peter 3. I believe it was 3. Salakia 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. So they're mocking the Lord, man. You're putting the Lord in a box. All right, y'all gonna put respect on Yahweh Shem Yahushai's name, man. All right. It says, for this they willingly were ignorant of that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world was that then was being overflowed with water perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved until fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. That's the judgment. That's the judgment coming for Esau and the rest of these heathen nations and the wicked Israelites, man. You 2/3. Repent or perish, man. All right? That's all I had on that. Okay? I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors the apostles, elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the whole for elect, man. Keep enduring Akim. We almost out of here. Okay? Kwam Yasharala and Abba Ball. Shalom.